Hey guys, welcome to today's lesson. Now we're going to be looking at how you can win every single week. All right. So there are different ways in which we can win every single week, but I'm going to give you some strategies now and some practical habits that can literally transform ordinary weeks into superbly consistent weeks. And that is only going to lead to better quality of life, better results. Now, this system isn't about being perfect. I want you to kind of get that out of your head straight away. And I really want you to focus and listen to that because we don't have to be perfect. It's about the progress that we can make that is sustainable. You know this by now, but I'm just going to go over it again because I know sometimes it can become overwhelming and we can start to feel a little bit kind of like, oh, what's going on? So let's get into this today. All right. So what does winning really mean? Well, many of us define winning as being perfect or achieving dramatic achievements, but true winning is completely different. All right. Consistent progress is the first thing we want to look at here. I know you might think it's boring, but this is what is going to work, okay? Small steps forward that compound over time, not occasional perfect days. Talk about this a lot. I'd rather you be 80% consistent every single day for 10 weeks than being 100% consistent just for 2 weeks and then crashing and burning. It's so much more beneficial for you. Focus on the controllables. I talk about this a lot. Control the controllables. That is all you can do. If life is chaotic, focus on what you can control that day, okay? Prioritize actions you can take rather than outcomes beyond your control. So really hone in and focus on what you can control on any given day and repeatable systems. So simple habits that you can maintain even during your busiest weeks. Now, the reason I want people to focus on their hydration, to focus on their step count, to focus on the nutrition most of the time is that if we can make that a habit, if we can automate it, when life gets crazy, when life gets busy, when you're poorly, when you're on holiday, whatever, some of those habits are still ingrained in you and because they are part of your life. And it's important that we look into really nailing down these habits when the good weeks are around, when you're feeling motivated, when you're feeling good. So then they carry through into the weeks where you're demotivated, where you're away, where you're on holiday, when life is chaotic, okay? Really important we get those repeatable systems in place. So when you redefine winning this way, success becomes inevitable rather than occasional. You will not fail if you do these things. You cannot, okay? Now, my weekly winning formula is right here now. So win consistently by following this 3-part system is going to build momentum without overwhelm. So first up is to set clear priorities. Identify your most important actions for the week ahead. So be specific with these, be realistic with these, and just focus on what you feel you can achieve, controlling the controllables, okay? So think about your non-negotiables that week, the most important things. Is it workouts? Is it sticking to your nutrition? Is it going for 3 runs? Is it getting 10,000 steps in a day? What are the most important actions for you this coming week? Every week will be different. What is going to be the most important for you this coming week? Follow through on those non-negotiables. There's no point having those non-negotiables if you don't follow through with them, okay? So commit to them by completing your core actions regardless of what happens, of any unexpected changes throughout the course of the week. So really focus on the non-negotiables, whether that's 2 or 3 of them, and then review and reset. So analyze your performance, learn from it, and plan your next winning week. So every single week, this is why it's so important to reflect on what you've done, on your goals, reflect on the week. How can you improve it going forward? Or how can you change and alter things going forward into the next week and take each week as it comes? All right. So this is kind of like the winning formula. Now, this formula works because it balances good ambition with realism, and it keeps you moving forward even when life is going to get a bit chaotic, which it will do because we're human beings and that happens. Now, setting your weekly priorities, your weekly key non-negotiable. So choose 3 key actions that are going to make the biggest difference to you this week and your goals this week. The power of 3 priorities is that they're achievable yet meaningful, and it takes you out your comfort zone. So examples could be complete 3 workouts. So you're going to specify which days and what type of workout you're going to do. It takes away decision fatigue. You don't have to worry and stress about what days you're going to do it. If it's planned, it's there in your schedule. Prep lunches for work. So if you set aside 30 minutes on a Sunday or a Monday or wherever, prepare healthy options for that week. Again, it takes out decision fatigue, so much less stressful. And try and hit 8,000 steps daily. So building, walking into your kind of schedule, your routine, you could build it into meetings, you could walk to the shops instead of driving. These little things, being consistent with that, has got an unbelievable compounding results on your overall health and fitness and wellness. So remember, got to keep it achievable. Ambition is good, but so is consistency and hitting realistic targets consistently. So that is going to build more momentum than occasionally reaching impossible goals, okay? So non-negotiables versus nice to haves. Okay, I was going to say nice have tos then, but nice to have. So the secret to winning every single week is distinguishing between what must happen and what would be good to happen. So non-negotiables, these are your core commitments for the week that happen regardless of any given circumstance. They are the foundations of your weekly wins, okay? 3 non-negotiables would be sensational. The nice to haves will be, these are bonus actions, okay? You'll complete if time and energy allow, but it won't beat yourself up if your circumstances prevent them. So say, for example, your non-negotiables are 3 workouts in that week, and a nice to have would be 2 runs on top of that. Now, you can get the 3 workouts in because they are non-negotiables, and whatever happens, you're going to do them. The runs could be a bonus if everything goes to plan. If it doesn't go to plan and you can't do them, it's not the end of the world. So that's the example there, just to kind of give you a little bit more of an insight as to what that means, okay? The midweek checkpoints, the midweek check-in. So the midweek check-in is your kind of course correction tool that prevents small slip-ups becoming massive, massive derailments. So a Wednesday review will take you 5 minutes to honestly assess your progress or your 3 key priorities. So are you on track? Are you falling behind? How's things going? How are you feeling? Okay. Tactical adjustments to that. So I want you to rearrange your calendar if needed. So we need to adapt and adjust. That's what this is all about. Adapting and adjusting. There's nothing set in stone. So rearrange that calendar, move a workout, prep some extra meals, or plan additional steps into a certain day to ensure you hit your non-negotiable targets. And then the recommitment. So remind yourself why these priorities really do matter and renew your commitment to completing them. Okay. So the midweek check-in is good. We always need to analyze, self-analysis. And again, it might seem boring initially, but if you can do this consistently, my word, it just becomes second nature, okay? So the midweek check-in is going to break that kind of I'll start again on Monday cycle. That is always going to sabotage consistent progress. We want to completely eliminate that I'm going to start Monday cycle, and we want to continually analyze, adapt, and go, okay? So next up, end of week review. This 10-minute reflection ritual is where you convert each week's experience into wisdom that is going to power you to future success. Okay, so what went well? First up, that's the first thing we're looking at, what went well. So celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are. You know, I talk about in the group about celebrating your wins and what are your wins, and we do it on a Wednesday, we do it on a Sunday. The reason being is that I want you to focus on what's gone well the first half of the week, what's gone well over the course of the whole week, and we can analyze from there. So even when you're just thinking about it as wins, you are analyzing your performance from that week. And I want you to really, really do this because it's just going to reaffirm positive affirmations in your head. You'll feel more positive. You'll feel happier about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. It's not flaky or anything like that. It's really, really useful, okay? Celebrate your wins, acknowledge your progress. It's just going to reinforce those positive habits. Then you think, right, what could I improve going into this week? So look back at any obstacles that happened last week. How can you maneuver around them this week if they crop up again? Identify obstacles without the judgment of them, okay? So what specific adjustments would you make to be more successful next week? And then what is your main focus for next week? So set your 3 new priorities based on what you've learned from the past week, what went well, and what could you improve, and what matters most to you and your goals right now, okay? So this review is really going to help transform each week into building blocks for the following week. It's going to create unstoppable momentum over time if you are consistent with it. If you just think you do this for 10 weeks in a row, imagine how much better your 10th week is going to be from your first week, okay? So that's the kind of compounding interest we're looking at. Now, start winning this week, okay? I want you to pick your 3 priorities right now if you haven't done so already. So be specific about what each one looks like. Be as specific as possible. Share them for accountability. Tell a friend, tell a partner, post them in the group, tell me, share them for accountability. Then schedule your own personal check-ins in to block 5 minutes midweek on a Wednesday, 10 minutes on a Sunday maybe, for your own self-review, self-analysis to see how you can progress moving forward and what needs to be adapted for the following week. So the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't talent, isn't luck. You know, it isn't because someone's got an easier life than someone else. It's the commitment to a simple weekly system that is going to build real momentum, okay? So what are your 3 priorities going to be this week? I want you to have a real think about that. What are your 3 priorities this week? Get them written down, get them stuck to, get them done. Any nice to haves on top of that will be great as well, but the 3 main priorities need to be done, and then you will start building momentum, okay? Any questions about this, guys? You know where to find me. I know I've spoken about this stuff a lot, but we need to reinforce this home, okay? Have a great day, and I'll speak to you later.